Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 15th Annual Health Disparities Conference, presented to you by Xavier University. My name is Jasmine Hubbard, and I am a postbac student at Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science. The title of my presentation is PrEP and PEP Knowledge Among African Americans in 4 U.S. Cities. Now, this is just a preliminary analysis of that knowledge. So some important background information that everyone should be aware of. There are approximately 1.2 million people in the U.S. living with HIV/AIDS today. Even though African Americans represent 13% of the U.S. population, they make up 41% of the HIV cases in the United States. After 40 years of progress in treatment modalities, the incidence and prevalence rates of HIV among African Americans remains high. Pre-exposure prophylaxis, also known as PrEP, and post-exposure prophylaxis, also known as PEP, are two treatment modalities that are known to be more than 90% effective. However, knowledge of these two treatments among African Americans remains nominal. The objective of our study is that we want to examine PrEP and PEP knowledge among African Americans in Los Angeles, California, Riverside, California, Brooklyn, New York, and Jackson, Mississippi. We hope that this research is able to develop more effective and culturally appropriate intervention models that can reduce HIV incidence among these at-risk populations. Now, in order to study these populations, we recruited 96 participants. These participants included people that were heterosexual men, heterosexual women, gay men, and trans women. 39 of those individuals were from Los Angeles, California, 27 from Riverside, California, 17 from Brooklyn, New York, and 13 from Jackson, Mississippi. Now, in this cross-sectional study, we got their consent to give them self-administered surveys, which included questions about PrEP and questions about PEP. As you can see in this chart here, we made sure to include people of different demographics. So we included not just African Americans from those 4 U.S. cities, but we made sure that they were between the ages of 18 and 83 years old, people who went to high school and had some college, people with and without insurance, individuals who had income levels both above and below $10,000, and single and married marital status. This was very important because PrEP and PEP has been known to be very expensive in the past, but over time, that price has decreased. So in our results, we found that by asking individuals different questions about PrEP and PEP, such as, did you know that PrEP is a new biomedical regimen, or that PEP protects at-risk individuals who do not have HIV? Did you know that PrEP has more than 5 side effects, or PrEP involves only taking 1 pill per day, and that PrEP is over 90% effective? We found in our results that more trans women and gay men were more aware of PrEP and PEP than African American heterosexual men and heterosexual women. Our preliminary findings suggest that PrEP and PEP knowledge is simply greater among gay men and trans women, and that there is a great need to increase the education about PrEP and PEP treatment and eventually develop these intervention models that are not only culturally appropriate, but fiscally appropriate and very affordable for people who are at risk. Now, with that being said, I'd like to take the time to thank the grants that supported this research and was able to fund it. I'd also like to thank Urban Health Institute of Charles R. Drew University for giving me the ability to present this research, and also Xavier University of Louisiana for accepting me to display this information on this platform today. If you have any questions about PrEP and PEP knowledge and why it's so limited, or any sort of comments at all, please feel free to send me an email at jasminehubbard@cdrewu.edu. Thank you for listening.